The Timeless Tourist. I did something that I told everybody that I was going to do, and that was cancel the subscription to this live. And guess what I forgot to do, because I forgot I signed up for it in the middle of the month. They just rebilled me for the live. So guess what I'll be doing all the way through February? Some more of these just random lives here at the Arizona Timeless Tourist. I just had to check Facebook to make sure the mic is on. You guys are my producers, so if you don't hear this mic really well, because I'm not backed up enough on, look, I got it going live right here, but I'm not backed up enough, so I can't tell if the mic is rolling. So you let me know when you pop in if the mic is rolling. Again, we're going to do a lot more of these. I got billed for another cycle. It was only supposed to go till the end of January, 31 January 2022, but now it's going through the end of February 2022 because, again, I was billed again. We got a great show. This is off the cuff like all of my shows. So if you're catching it later, beautiful time for you to join on in because we're going to talk about some cool stuff. We're going to talk about like someone like Pearl Hart. I just read today. Do you know Pearl Hart's real name isn't Pearl Hart? I didn't know that. And I've done all kinds of tours with Pearl Hart in it. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some awesome articles in True West magazine. We're going to talk about like 5 different locations that I've been. I got some pictures up there to throw on there. But we're going to wait just a minute, see if anybody else from the other social media accounts jumps into this live. We got a great show for you, though. Great off-the-cuff show. So, again, if you're coming in tonight and you're rewatching this, we got a lot to talk about. I'm excited to be here, excited to do this. Wife is teaching piano downstairs, so you might even get a free concert pianist being played in the background. But good show tonight, good show. If you got friends, family members in town, have them jump on, ask me some questions. And I also got an awesome offer because we have no tours tomorrow in Florence. I normally charge, what is it? $75 per person with a minimum of 2 people to do a 90-minute historic tour. Well, I'm doing this money off thing I haven't done before because I don't have a tour tomorrow and it's short notice. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., Florence, Arizona, we've knocked it down to $50 per person, a minimum of 2 people. So it's for tomorrow and tomorrow only. Let's check out and see what today's date is for. So it's for the 27th of January, 2022. It'll be $50 per person for a 90-minute walking tour of beautiful, historic downtown Florence tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. You'll meet me out there at the historic courthouse. You just email me at deanp7010@gmail.com, and I'll put that up on the screen. And we got, again, a minimum of 2 people, $50 per person. It's normally $75 per person. So it's like a coupon day tomorrow. Thursday, it's a coupon day. But let's jam let's put this music up a little bit. Let's put something else on here. And we're going to jump in. Let me just get a few things set up. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see y'all. I need to shave. What I notice about this music when I go back and replay it, it sounds good as I'm doing it, but it goes in and out on the replay. That kind of sucks. Yeah, I think it's a great deal too. All right, let's bring it down. Let's just turn it off. Let's just turn the music off. Oh, I put another soundtrack on there. All right, let's talk. Let's have a good time. Let's just, anybody's got any questions or anything like that, just throw them out there. Let's check the settings here. I think everything is good. All right. Got my coffee, just went up there and got something. I've been out and about. I've been down in Tucson at the Tucson Train Depot. I have been, where else did I go? Let's think about this for a minute. I went up for my first visit to Prescott, Arizona. First time, 45,000 miles of traveling in 4.5 years in Arizona, just for all of this social media stuff. Never been to Prescott. I went to Prescott yesterday morning. I left here at 5:30 in the morning, and it took me 6:30, 7:30, 7:40. I pulled into the site that I needed to be at 8:30. I stopped at Starbucks and I was heading back home. And 8:45, 9:45. By 11 o'clock, I had done everything, and I was back at the house at 11 o'clock from Prescott, Arizona. I even met a gentleman in a Pioneer Cemetery in Prescott, and we're going to talk about it. I met him. He's worked there forever. We had a great conversation. I was standing. It was like 24 degrees when I got there, but 36 when the sun started coming up, but I was freezing. And I saw him up at the top of the hill at this cemetery, and we started chatting. I said, "Sir, do you work here?" And he came over to the Jeep. We had a 30-minute conversation, and he informed me that there was nowhere else in Prescott for me to go that day, because I was going to go downtown to the courthouse, see some stuff, and get out of there, get back home by noon, because the wife had some things going on about 1:30. But we had, again, a 30-minute conversation. I gave him one of my new business cards, my little poker chips we just had made. We're going to show on the show tonight. I want to see if I got one in my pocket real quick. Arizona Street Media says, "Did you go to the Trump rally?" I did not. No. Anyhow, this is it. This is the new kind of the logo, the AZTT, the Arizona Timeless Tours. You're going to start seeing this on everything from T-shirts. I'm going to have my car wrapped soon, the old Jeep wrapped. We got these out, but they're little like poker chip coins. And then on the back of the poker chip coin, it says book a tour at deanb7010@gmail.com. We ordered 1,000 of these suckers. And we've given out probably about a little over 350 of them in the last 4 or 5 days. And I gave one to the gentleman up at Prescott. So somebody in Prescott, Arizona has one of the new Arizona Diamondbacks, Arizona Timeless Tours poker chip business cards. And I love these things because I figured, I was going to pay a little bit more for them. But when somebody gave me a chip or a coin, I hung on to them. Whether it was when I was on vacation in Florida or California or, up northern Arizona, I would keep them because they were pretty cool. And I've got probably over 100 business cards from when I moved and went to Texas and then came back, and I was going through through my desk. I had like 100 from all of these parks all across Arizona, from the people who ran the parks, from the people who wanted to see the videos when I was finished with them. And, if I would have had these, I would have made a little display and just kept them up. And then I would have probably got a hold of those people a lot quicker. So we got the Arizona Timeless Tours poker chip. Boom. Book a tour, deanb7010@gmail.com. And we're giving them out. And again, we've given out probably about 350 in the last 4 days. It's been awesome. People are more likely to take them from you too. They're like, "Oh, pretty cool. What is this AZ?" We might change a few things up. I'm going to keep the logo, but on the back, we're going to put a QR code to the TikTok page, because the TikTok page has the email address on it. And then you can scan it with your phone. And then across the top, it'll say Arizona Timeless Tours. Because for those people, I met some people out at the Pioneer Living History Museum a couple of days ago, and I was telling the guy about a few things, and he took one of these, and then he went and told his folks that he was with, and they were like, "Can I get one? But where are you on social media? Because it's such a new logo." And I was like, "Well, just remember Arizona with the AZ, and the TT stands for Timeless Tours." And most of the time, if you just put Arizona Timeless into any social media platform, even on Google, you're going to come up with the Arizona Timeless Tour. So boom, we got those. Love them. Let's get back over here. Let's see what this thing says here. Those chips are awesome. Chad Campbell from the great state of Kansas. What's going on, man? Yeah, I need to send Chad Campbell one of these. If you were playing poker with one of these, I'd say they'd be worth about $500 a piece. But I'm nice and just giving them out to people. But anyhow, yeah, love the chip. I can't wait to get my. See, I didn't even see that, and I said that. I owe Chad a shirt, and I owe Chad, Mr. Chad Campbell of Kansas. I owe him some of these chips too. Before I give them all out, I actually in another couple of days going to do a reorder on these because I need to put the QR code in the back. Scan that sucker with the phone. Go right to that great TikTok page. There's Joe B. What's up, Joe? Hope you are doing great. Yeah. So again, people are more likely to take one of these from you, and they're more likely not to go home and toss them in the trash can or lose them somewhere. They're more likely to put them up somewhere and say, hey, if anything, I don't know who this joker, this AZTT joker is. It's trying to have me book a tour, but it's pretty cool. So I'm going to stick the AZTT part up, kind of, hang it up there. But anyhow, enough with that. What did I do when I was in Prescott for the first time? First time, 10 years. Yeah. First time and 40, I said 45,000, at least 45,000. I know it because YouTube, or not YouTube, but Google tracks my every movement. And I know I can turn the feature off, but I kind of use it to show people how much I've traveled throughout the year and how many cities I've gone to and how many destinations I've been to. And that all of this travel has been in Arizona and not on vacations or back and forth to work or anything like that. It's been for this channel and this channel only. And so the other day, I think we got one for the month. It was like 1,900 miles traveled. So, we're doing a lot. And I'm going to head up to Flagstaff again in a little bit to go back to the Apache Death Cave, Canyon Diablo, and then to the gravesite of the Commodore Perry Owens. Commodore Perry Owens. That's a great name to name your kid Commodore. He was named after a officer in the War of 1812. His mom was a big history buff, so they named him Commodore Perry Owens. And with that name, his name goes down in history because he was a sheriff. And I don't know if we'll talk about it tonight or when I finally get the TikTok out there, but was Commodore Perry Owens the sheriff everyone who believed him to be, or is he a little less? And it goes back to, is Wyatt Earp and the Earp brothers who we think they were, or were they a lot less than what we think they were? And I tend to go the other direction with the Earp brothers. They're just propped up way too much. Way too many books and movies made about Wyatt Earp and Virgil and Morgan and Warren. And their dad's name was Nicholas Earp. And his life is chaotic. No wonder his kids ended up the way that they did. But it's a topic for another time. I like those. Now, I have no clue what a QR code is. This is what happens when you move to Kansas. You get out of what is a QR code. So let's explain that to Chad in Kansas real quick. QR code is what if I got anything around here, a magazine or anything that has a QR code. It's a little QR code, and you take your phone and you open it to your camera, and you put the phone with the camera on over the QR code like this, and boom, it'll launch you straight to the Arizona Timeless Tours TikTok page. It's like, when everybody, we couldn't get real menus anymore because of COVID in the restaurants. So they thought paper menus so they could throw them out and cost the company more money to do something like that. But so they put a QR code on the table and you would go in with your phone. So obviously Chad from Kansas hasn't been to a restaurant where the QR code was on the table and you had to scan it to get the menu on your phone, or he'd be in big trouble. Big trouble. All right. Catherine, how are you doing? Haha, Chad. Yeah, Chad's a pretty much a lifelong Arizona resident. For some reason, he moved to the state of Kansas. Is what it is. Yeah. Chad, yeah, there's date of birth right there. But it doesn't make any sense, because if you're born in the 80s, you should be up to date. This man born in the early 1970s. So Yeah, Chad Campbell. That's okay. We love boomers. Boomers. Don't you, baby boomer, Chad? All right. All right. Dogs are barking. Wife has let him out. I told her I was going live, but she just doesn't care. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. I'm up in Prescott. I do have some pictures to show you. I would love to yell, knock off the dog noise, but it wouldn't be right. Joe B knocks in. He says, I'm 1966 and knew what a QR code was. That's because Joe B knows what he's doing. Joe B is on a whole different level than Chad Campbell from Kansas. All right, I just know this. But at least Chad from Kansas knows what a QR code is right now. So if he gets off right now and he goes and he says, I've had enough of this joker, he'll know what a QR code. Okay. Let's go over here. Let's get the graphics. There is that special offer for tomorrow and tomorrow only, folks. Tomorrow, because people will get a hold of me and say, "Hey, I heard your tours are only $50 per person and not 75 anymore. What? They're not doing so well?" And I'll be like, "No, they're doing fantastic, but I have nothing tomorrow, and I want to book a tour tomorrow." So let me turn this on and off. Here it is. Thursday, January the 27th, 2022 at 10 a.m. in Florence. If you get a hold of me at dnb7010 at gmail.com, which is also on my new chip. If you get a hold of me there, it's $50 per person, but a minimum of 2 people. Okay. Still a minimum of 2 people. It's normally $75 a person, minimum of 2 people. All right. We usually do pretty good on the minimums. I don't usually have to worry about that. But for me to drive out there and back, it has to be at least a minimum of 2 people. But for tomorrow and tomorrow only, $50 for the 90-minute walking tour of Florence. You won't be disappointed. It's better than Tombstone. All right. Let me bring up the I'm going to put this up here and then let's stick let's see here. Let's stick some pictures up here. Graphics. Here, let me give the selfie shot first. Can anyone tell by the selfie where I was at? What graveyard I was at? What pioneer graveyard I was at that was established in 1911? So it's not the 1800s. It's 1911. The real story of the individual buried here, I mean, even the guy at this cemetery is like, why do people keep coming up here to find this particular gravesite? Do you know who this individual was in real life? Do you know what this person's occupation was in real life? And I'm like, yes. And the reason I come up here is I'm not all for the occupation here, but it's such a part of the Old West and Arizona history and the movies that we got to get up here and we got to do TikToks on it. And this TikTok's going to be released tonight at 7 o'clock. Tonight at 7 o'clock Arizona time, because that's the only time that matters, right? And the great state of Arizona tonight at 7 p.m. We're going to release this 30-second TikTok. And I predict it's going to go over well. We've been flying high on TikTok lately. And for those of you who are like, why is he on TikTok? Let me just really quick tell you. We put out, and we're going to talk about this other area down in Tucson next, about 3 days ago. And we got 139,400 views on that. And then we went to a pioneer cemetery up around Superior, which was Pinal City. Back in the 1880s and 1890s, we got about 80,000 views on that. So that's kind of why we're on TikTok. We are just shy of 160,000 followers on that platform. So where am I at? Let's go back over to the chat. And somebody tells me, except for Joe B, because Joe B was on my live when I was there. Yeah, Joe B was on my live. We went live from this place on TikTok. That is the Arizona Pioneers Home Cemetery. Pioneers Home Cemetery up in Prescott. And a very, very small cemetery. Again, established according to the sign in 1911. For those who were in the Pioneer Home Cemetery, or not the cemetery, but in the Pioneers Home back in the early 1900s when they established it. for those people who just couldn't afford to live. Now, this person right here, I'm not going to let Joe B in on this, but unless he answered it already, let's see if it's no, that's not in there. Okay. The only reason that people keep going to the cemetery, and look, I don't like to talk about dying and stuff like that, but if I turn the camera around, I didn't put that shot up here. If you turn the camera, this person's looking right at Starbucks. I'm like, well, there you go. Right at Starbucks. To your right is a Burger King and a Walmart, and right straight ahead is Starbucks, and right underneath. So if I was to walk forward about 40 yards at the most, there's this huge car wash place, louder than crud, over the cemetery. Folks, that is the grave. Let's bring up the other graphic real quick. That is the grave of Mary Kay Cummings, 1850 to 1940. Who is Mary Kay? Who is that? Now, that's not Mary Kay of the famous Mary Kay Cosmetics, right? No. That's AKA Big Nose Kate, or Rowdy Kate, born in Budapest, Hungary, November 7th, 1850, and died at the Arizona Pioneer Home on the 2nd of November, 1940. She lived like 90 years. This is and Chad from Kansas might know a lot about this because he deals a lot with the Old West and common law wives. But this is the what we would call the common law wife of Doc Holliday. And this is why that cemetery is so popular. There's a lady who did a lot of writing up there, and he's like, she's one of the other more famous people buried in the cemetery, but he says no more than 15 people, and he's there 4 or 5 days a week. 15 people come each and every day looking for the grave of Big Nose Kate, the common law wife of Doc Holliday. Even before they got to Tombstone, they were hanging out together. But he's like, do you not know that this lady was a prostitute? And I'm like, I do know that. I do know what her occupation was. And I'm like, there's just so much to it because we put out 2 huge motion pictures in the 1990s, 92, 93, and with one with Kurt Russell and one with Kevin Costner. And on another live, since we've paid for the subscription, automatic renewal happened to me, and that was supposed to be canceled at the end of the month. We're going to talk about those 2 movies. We're going to talk about Kurt Russell and Kevin Costner, and which one was the better movie? Was Wyatt Earp the better movie, or was Tombstone the better movie? Which one was more accurate, Tombstone or Wyatt Earp? Who spent the most money on their movie? The people that put together Tombstone or Wyatt Earp? And did you know that these were going up against each other? They were recording right around the same time of each other. One heard that the other one started another one, and one spent an extreme amount of money, and I think it's very interesting which one spent all that money. But the grave of Big Nose Kate, and what's really nice about this gravesite though, and they have this. I don't have a better picture, unfortunately. Does this one show it? Yeah, up there in the corner, there's this glass jar, and the guy's like, we don't like to put glass jars, and nobody else has anything else around their grave, so this is easy to find, even though there is a sign pointing to her gravesite. That little thing is perfect because people can take the stuff off the grave and put it inside of that. I don't know what they do with it afterwards. I don't know if there's a museum or anything that takes it, or they put it in the trash. I don't know, but it helps keep the graveyard clean and that particular grave clean. And they put the stuff every now and then into that glass jar. And I thought that was a perfect idea. Some of these other places I've gone in the West, like even recent in the Mesa City Cemetery where Waylon Jennings is at, they need something like that. But because that cemetery is still active, people clear that off every morning of all the Jack Daniels bottles. It's all over the Waylon Jennings grave. But like the Warren Earp one down in Wilcox and some of these other ones that there is really no town, like Maddie Blaylock Earps and stuff like that, what we're going to talk about next. her grave, they could use one of those. So people go in and just put their mementos and stuff that they're going to leave at the grave inside of that little jar there. It's a good idea. It truly is a good idea. Let's go back into the chat. Everybody stopped chatting. Everybody left me. That's okay though. All right. So yesterday I went to Prescott. It was to go to Big Nose Kate's grave. It was 240-mile round trip. It took 4.5 hours to drive it. Stopped at another 30 minutes. I stopped at Starbucks and got a coffee and waited like 20 minutes for the coffee, and then took off and came back home. And sometimes I wonder, that's why I was trying to find some more stuff to see in Prescott. And really, the guy that's been there most of his whole life, the guy was in his mid-60s that I was talking to, and had worked at that cemetery for quite some time, and really couldn't give me anywhere but Whiskey Row to go to. And it was like still before 9 o'clock in the morning. And Whiskey Row isn't going to open until 10:30, 11 o'clock. So there was no really reason for me to hang around Prescott. If you know another spot that you would like me to hit for TikTok and TikTok alone, please let me know. But that was a 240-mile round trip for one thing that took 20 minutes to film. That's why I went live for like 10 minutes. We had like 2,000 people on the TikTok live. Another reason I'm on TikTok. But all right, where else have we gone? Let's go back into the to the graphics here. And okay, so like 3 days ago, we got over 100,000 views in 2 days on this particular site that I'm going to talk to you about. And even the people who have grown up and lived in Tucson, if you go back and you read the comments on TikTok, and they'll tell you, well, we lived here 30, 40, 50. We've lived here all of our lives, and we didn't know that this existed. Now, this is hasn't been there for 20, 30 years. It's a more, I want to say 15, 20 years ago, this statue was set at the Tucson train depot. And I was watching this old, and this what's crazy about this is why you always find new places throughout the state and new places to go. We've got like 600 TikToks. We got 250 plus YouTube videos. We got 780 plus Instagram posts and Twitter posts. I've never heard of this, even though it's only, and it's still been around for, I want to say at least 18 years. And most of the people who live in Tucson never heard of this because let's just be real. I would take my daughter to the train station because she didn't want to fly when she came in from college. And it would always come up in Flagstaff. And there's one in Maricopa, yeah, but not hers. Hers would always come in at Flagstaff at like, I don't know, 11:55 p.m. in the morning, 11:55 at night, or 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's always, November, December, where it's, 22 degrees, snow, and yeah. And then the train's always late, good old Amtrak. But unless you go to the Amtrak area in Flagstaff, you wouldn't know what the visitor center looked like or what they sell in there or what's going on in there unless you're, taking Amtrak. So that's why in Tucson, most people miss this. But I think it's a hidden gem. And so did 100,000+ people in the last 48 hours think it's a hidden gem. And let me show you what it is. Another great selfie taken, I got to get myself in this stuff, right there, got to make myself famous some way. Look at that. And I bent down a little bit and looks like this gentleman here is pointing his weapon at me, which isn't cool. But anybody know what this is all about and who the statue is? And I don't know if I can let Joe B pop in on this because Joe B's up to date on my stuff. So, but anybody other than Joe B, if you're still on here, know who these two characters are and why they would place this statue at the Tucson train depot about 18 years ago? Anybody? Anyone? Let's go over to, it would be helpful if I could see down the side here. What does this say here from Joe B? Did the other location work for you? The other location. Are you talking up in the in Prescott? No, it's the only place I went up in Prescott. This is good. I like this. I like this answer. I like that. That's a good one. Chris, have I said hello to Chris? I don't think this individual's been on here before. He's right on this one. Boom. Wyatt Earp is one of them. Who's the other one? Chris, am I saying this right? I'm not going to pronounce that last name, but do you live in Tucson, or have you been to this area? Or is that just a great guess? Oh, I'm thinking this person knows exactly where this is at and who this is at. Doc Holliday. I'm going to wait and see. Chris, have you been to this location, or do you live around there? No. Well, dang. Them are some great guesses. Which one's which? Which one's which? I mean, which one's Doc and which one is Wyatt? Because that's who those people are. All right, let's play. We'll stop playing games here. Let me go up here. Okay, let's pop this here. Sometimes my my screen doesn't go down as far as I need it to go down. Okay. Yeah, good job, huh, Catherine? Yeah. So anyhow, all right. 20 March 1882, big time, right? We have let me get this right here. We have Morgan Earp being killed by the Clanton and the Stillwell and all the the cowboy gang in Tombstone. All right, they kill Morgan Earp. They wound Virgil. Virgil's wounded. So what happens in March is they decide that they're going to get out of Dodge, that they're going to take the body of Morgan back to California, and they're going to load it on a train. And Virgil and his wife, because Virgil's been hit, is going to go back to California too. But it's going to have to. The train's going to have to stop in Benson. And let me get this down here really quick. Let's see here. Captions. Dang, where am I at here? Okay. So the train is going to leave for Benson from Tombstone. So they got the body of Morgan on there. They got Virgil on there with his wife, and Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp are escorting them. Well, when they get to the train depot in Benson, Doc and Wyatt are going to turn around and go back to Tombstone. They're going to catch the train back. But there's a rumor. Now, there's a lot written about this stuff, especially about these guys, but there's a rumor that Ike Clanton is waiting at the Tucson train depot. So somebody brings Wyatt that news. So Wyatt decides, okay, him and Doc are going to go ahead and escort Virgil and Morgan's body and Virgil's wife up to Tucson, and then make sure that they transfer trains and head back to California. And so they get there. Now they transfer. Virgil transfers with his wife. And this is in the movie. They do Tombstone make sure that you see this actual part happen at the end of the movie Tombstone. And so when they get them on and they get them taken care of, they wait out. And who do they see? Yeah, they see Ike Clanton and they see Frank Stillwell. Okay, they see Frank Stillwell. And Wyatt goes running after Frank Stillwell. And when he gets them, and he just pumps them full of lead, folks. Some of the people that have written about this, that saw the body that day, the next day, said this was the most riddled, riddled bullet body in the history of man, is how many bullets were put into this individual. So I'm sure Doc got in on some of this action. And what happens is, at the Tucson train depot, they put up a statue of Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp on the spot. They're saying, now somebody said it's down the tracks, but this is as close to the tracks as that you could get it. Whatever. I haven't heard that. I only read the information that's at the Tucson train depot and everything that I've seen online on it. They said that that's the very spot where Wyatt Earp shot Frank Stillwell on the 20th of March of 1882 to get revenge for killing his brother Morgan and what was going on with Virgil. And they stuck up that thing there. Now, I've never heard of it. And most people in Tucson never heard of it. And again, I'll say it again, over 100,000 views. That's when people are like, what? And they go and look it up for themselves before they come back to try to slam me that I don't know what I'm talking about. And someone did say, well, I believe it was a little bit farther down on the tracks. Now, that train depot has moved a little bit since 1880. The original train depot doesn't stand, but they give you a picture on a little map that actually Wyatt Earp drew before he died and talked about the killing of Frank Stillwell. So I'm going to go with the map. I'm going to go with the story. And we know that it happened. Again, the movie Tombstone shows it to you there at the end. But that is a cool little piece of history right there. I'm going to show you a couple of these guys, of this statue a little bit up close and personal. Some other pictures. Here is a picture of Doc, I believe. Yeah, that's an up close picture of Doc loading the old shotgun up right there. And then this is the close up picture of Wyatt right there. I did a video on it. If I can find it, I'll show it to you before we get off tonight. But a lot of people love it. I think it's a hidden piece of history. I think that people aren't going to find out about it unless you're at the train depot. And here's why you might not even know about it if you go to the train depot. You have to go to the actual train museum that's next to the Amtrak because this happened farther down the tracks. So this statue here is not in front of the Amtrak station where people would come out and load onto the train. It would be about 60 or 70 yards down left of that. It's next to that huge train that they got out there. If you've been to Tucson and to that area, they have this huge locomotive, and then they have this small train museum. That's where this is located at. That's why I think it is the original location, because why not put it right outside of where the Amtrak is, or why not put it in front of where the Amtrak is and people would see it from off the road? It'd be a tourist destination. People would go there and take pictures all the time. So, yeah. So that is it. That is, and we're going to bring up, and for anybody who's jumped in, because we jumped up a few numbers here, so we'll put that really quick overview. That is with the gun facing down, that is Doc Holliday. With the gun facing up, that is Wyatt Earp. That is supposed to be the very area or the very spot where Wyatt Earp kills Frank Stillwell for taking out Morgan Earp on the 20th of March of 1882 at the Tucson train depot. And I was there like 4 days ago. And what I thought was a great hidden gem in the state, sitting right there. So we'll get off of this now. We'll run on over to the chat. Yeah, Christine Stewart. I was on a bus heading home. Somebody's heading home on the bus. And just noticed that the AZTT, I like it. I like that you're using the AZTT was on because boom. That's a shout out to the AZTT new logo and new little poker chip. So I'm going to use it. Boom. Book a tour at deanb7010@gmail.com. Oh, poker chip. All right. All right. So where else have I gone in the last week? Went to another Pioneer Cemetery up in where Pinal City used to be located, but now it's called Superior, Arizona. And I do not, for some reason, I have this thing right here. It is this one here. I think it's this is a 2 terabyte. I mean, no computer has 2 terabytes. It's a 2 terabyte storage card here. And sometimes I'm throwing stuff on here constantly and I'm taking it off my computer, and I took the pictures for some stinking reason that I wanted to share tonight off of there. So we'll just talk about it. I went to the old Pinal City. A lot of people asked because, yeah, we got 70,000 plus views on this in the last 5 days also on TikTok at the Arizona Timeless Tours. Just a quick plug, you know. Trying to get to that 160,000 people. Spread the word. I need like 200 more people to get to 160,000 followers in just a year and a half. Anyhow, I went to the cemetery, the Pinal Cemetery, historic cemetery where Maddie Blaylock Earp is buried, the first common law wife of Wyatt Earp. Now, Wyatt was married before he was seeing Maddie. Okay, he was married. I think, if I'm correct, that it wasn't a common law wife; that they were actually married, and then she passed away, and then he left, and then he got together with Maddie Blaylock Earp at the end. And that's the one you'll see on Tombstone that's addicted to the Loudrum, and she's the morphine and stuff like that. And she dies in 1888 of suicide, and that's on the it's not a tombstone, it's something else that's sitting there, but it's listed on there. And I went out there. Now, that's not hugely difficult to find if you do a little bit of investigation work. And I will tell you how you get there, because people asked on TikTok by the hundreds, and because people look for it. And I had to take 2 journeys about 2 years ago to do a YouTube video on it. And the problem is it's when you're going, so you're taking 60 east towards Superior. Before you get to Superior, and I noticed when I went about 5 or 6 days ago, that the actual street sign is now missing off the street, but it's the Silver King Mine Road. That's what you want to look up. So you're coming from Gilbert, Arizona, like me, and you're taking the 60 east, and you're coming over the hill, and you're within a mile of downtown Superior. You're gonna see on the left, it's still a quarry and stuff like that, right? There's like a blue and white building. You'll see it as you're coming over. And it doesn't look like you can go down that road. It looks like it's only for that business only. Why would you go down there? But it's the Silver King Mine Road, and you turn left coming from the 60 East. And you go up and you'll go over a cattle guard, and you'll go right by that business. And they got these huge, huge trucks and stuff with these big old, rocks that they're smashing and doing all this stuff over there. And then you'll keep driving and along the fence line, because you'll see a do not enter. That means for the quarry. And as you go down into there, the road splits off. It's a dirt road, so kind of a rough dirt road, but it splits off to the right, and it goes to this power line area, and it goes to the left, and the left is called Happy Camp Road. And you'll go up Happy Camp Road for less than a half a mile, probably closer to a quarter of a mile. And you'll go up the hill a little bit, and as you get up to the hill, it's this opening, and it looks like off-roading vehicles went over this one area, and about 50 feet further, there's another area. That's the one you want to go on. And you just want to follow that off-roading, those vehicles and stuff, because that's the only road there is. There is nothing else. And you keep following it, and you kind of stay right. You can't go any farther, right, or you fall off the side of the cliff. You stay right, and you keep going for, I would say, about a quarter of a mile. And you come up to the Pinal Historic Cemetery. It's right there. But it's very hard to find just by a GPS thing, because you're not sure what you're doing, because you can go all over the place and get yourself lost back there. And but that's where Maddie Blaylock Earp is buried. That's why it's kind of a good spot, because a lot of people, I know people who came on there and said, look, I 4-wheel out there for years, because it's a huge 4-wheeling area. And you can go for miles and miles and miles back there. Easy to get lost. And they're like, we've been 4-wheeling for years and never knew that cemetery was out there. So there you go. You got 4-wheelers out there. You got people who know the back roads a lot, and they still didn't know of that historic Pinal City Cemetery where Maddie Blaylock Earp is buried. She went there, I believe, right after Tombstone, after leaving Wyatt Earp, after he got there with Josephine. Do you know that Josephine, her actual real name was Sadie? And you know that she changed her name from Sadie to Josephine because Josephine was more proper Josephine Earp. Sadie was a crazy name. Why? Because they used it in those houses, folks. They used that kind of name. That was like a rowdy name, like Rowdy Kate, Big Nose Kate. Well, Sadie wasn't the best name for a woman to have back in the 1880s, because you were doing certain kinds of work. And that I just found out not too long ago from True West magazine. Her name was Sadie, not Josephine. Interesting. Anyhow. So let's see here. Well, let's put that up there because I like the old big boom right there. Thank you for coming in at the right time. Okay, so we checked out the grave of Big Nose Kate, Doc Holliday's common law. We checked out the common law grave of Wyatt Earp's second, it would be wife, but they were never married, of Maddie Blaylock Earp. We went and checked out the Tucson Train Depot and saw the statues of Wyatt and Doc Holliday and the place that they killed Frank Stillwell on March 20th of 1882 for taking out Morgan Earp. A really cool spot. Get down to the Tucson Train Depot and check that out. Where are we going next? Let's see here. You know what? Let's play. I never played the intro video. You know what? I'm going to skip the intro video. Let me see if I can play these other videos that I did want to show you where I put all of the TikToks together so you don't have to watch them like one 20-second TikTok after another. This is the newer one I did. Hang on. This is the first one's going to show you the actual location of the Tucson Train Depot and those statues and where Frank Stillwell was taken out by Wyatt Earp. And I think Maddie Blaylock is in on this too. So let me shut down the echo monitor here really quick. Hold on one second. Did you know here at the Tucson Train Depot, there is a statue of Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp? It actually marks spot where Wyatt Earp killed Frank Stillwell on the 20th of March of 1882. Let's go check it out. All right, we're going to drive down this road right here to a pioneer cemetery where the first common law wife of Wyatt Earp is buried. Let's go check it out. This is the final resting place of Larcena Pennington Page. She was abducted by Tano Apaches in 1860. Unable to keep up with her captives, she was stabbed 18 times and left for dead. She then crawled through the desert for more than 16 days before finding help and being rescued. The first thing she asked for was a chew of tobacco. On August 26, 1990, 78 years after the death of the first sheriff of Cochise County, and one of Tombstone's most colorful pioneers, a marker was placed recognizing the final resting place of Sheriff John Behan. This is the final resting place of Johnny Ringo. It is still a mystery today. Did Johnny Ringo take his own life July 13th, 1882, or was he murdered? The town of Adamsville was founded by Charles S. Adams in 1866. By 1870, the town had 400 residents. Adamsville had a reputation as one of the wildest, toughest towns in the Arizona Territory. Charles Adams died in the Wickenburg Massacre in 1871. This is the grave of William Claiborne. He was shot and killed by buckskin Frank Leslie November 14, 1882. Claiborne's last words, Frank Leslie killed Johnny Ringo. I saw him do it. The Tewksbury-Graham feud was the bloodiest feud in U.S. history. It came to a violent end with the 1892 murder of Tom Graham, the last survivor of his family involved in the feud. He was ambushed by Edwin Tewksbury in Tempe, Arizona. This is the final resting place of Edwin Tewksbury. I am standing on a historical spot right here on the Crosscut Canal in Scottsdale, Arizona. On the 23rd of December, 1944, 25 German POWs escaped. Where did they come out of the tunnel at? They came out of the tunnel right here. This bar is one of the oldest in the West, built in 1861. It was loaded onto a cargo ship to a boat ride around South America to the San Francisco Bay. It was then loaded onto a wagon pulled by 20 mule teams to Virginia City, Nevada. It stayed there during the Silver Boom. The bar was then sold to a saloon in Jerome during the 1880s. The bar is now located at the Pioneer Living History Museum. Boom. Yeah. All right. Now I can hear myself. That last thing, that bar, before I even talk to you about that, this is why I think TikTok is so awesome, is that you just watched, I think, 7 or 8 TikToks, and it was 3 minutes and like 54 seconds, so 4 minutes long, 7 or 8 TikToks, and you got the gist, you got the main point of each one of those TikToks, and you can look at those and say, you know what? What I don't understand is when people text me, it's like, well, where is that bar? Because right at the end of the bar, I put it is at the Arizona Pioneer Living History Museum. So you just Google Arizona Pioneer Living History Museum, and it's going to take you right to it. But it's a hidden gem. It's an unbelievable hidden gem. I left, if just in case you don't know, I left one of these calling cards, the AZTT, new logo. Book a tour at deanb7010gmail.com, the old beautiful poker chip, with the gentleman because he wanted to get a hold of his boss who was in charge of where that is placed at in the telephone. It was crazy. At the telephone museum at the Arizona Living History Museum, which is a total separate part to that museum. You can actually get into there for free if you wanted to. But it's part of the admission for the regular to see all the cabins and the historical locations there that he wanted to get with his boss, because what I was telling, first of all, the information, let me put this on mute for a second. Drank too much coffee. The information that they give you at the museum about the bar is completely wrong. Somebody just printed it out on a printer and stuck it out there. Then somebody printed something else out and stuck it at the bar, and it's totally different than what the other thing is saying. So he's going to give me a call. They need to do something. It used to be a restaurant that had that bar, and the bar was made to look like a famous bar along the in Gila Bend back in the late early 1900s. And they did a magnificent job with it. But 7-8 years ago, the well went bad where it was at. And they turned the rest of the restaurant into a telephone museum, which is extraordinary. It sounds ridiculous. And the dogs are barking. And they don't care that the Arizona Thomas Tourist Live trying to give you a good production. They're just going to let the dogs bark out there. But anyhow, on the other side of the telephone museum, in the same thing, is that bar. And it's magnificent. That bar was built in 1861 by Brunswick, and you see it on all pictures on all these bars that were built in the 1860s, whether they be down in Tombstone, whether they be in Bisbee, whether it be in Jerome, whether they be in somewhere in Virginia City, Nevada. They're the same type of bar. This bar was tracked. It was built in 1861 by the Brunswick, and then it was shipped around South America, made it all the way to the San Francisco Bay, and had a 20 mule team, numerous of those, that they put this, I don't know how many tons this bar weighs, onto these mules, and then they transported all the way to Virginia City, Nevada for the Silver Boom. And then after that, in 1890s, it went to a saloon in Jerome. They have pictures in that museum of the bar in Jerome. Then later on, a private investor bought it when the other bar went out, and they've had it forever. And when that particular restaurant and bar opened, they put it in there. Now, I don't know how they get it out of there if they wanted to, but it needs to get out of there, or they need to do something pretty cool where you can go there and order a drink. And something needs to happen. They have a working kitchen back again, because they have a lot of field trips that people take out there. So their kitchen has to pass the mustard all the time, has to be rated all the time. they can open that saloon up. It shouldn't be sitting there like that. You shouldn't have to drive all the way to Prescott to sit at the bar to Doc Holliday and buy that cheap whiskey and said, well, I sat at the exact bar that the Earps and Holiday and all these Western guys sat at in the 1870s and had a shot of whatever. And whether it be water or whiskey, you could do that right there at the Arizona Pioneer and Living History Museum, right there off of Interstate 17. I think it's the same exit that the correctional facility is off of, the FCI correctional facility, and it's probably 8 miles south of Anthem, Arizona, off the 17. It's really, really magnificent, a hidden gem. Anybody wants to go there and check it out. But hopefully I have a long conversation with this gentleman and we can do something about this. And it doesn't have to be sitting for like 7 years in a telephone museum where most people are never even going to go in there and check it out. They're just not going to do it. But anyhow, let's go over to the chat. Catherine's very nice. Your videos are very well done. Thank you. You're good at getting one's attention at AZTT. I like it. We got somebody new here. Support from New Mexico. I'm going to just call you Tiger. Just going to call you Tiger. Because you would think I'd be able to read all of that with the old man glasses on, but I can't, and I don't want to mispronounce it. So we'll just throw it up here on the top. And there it is better. Hello from the wonderful state of New Mexico that used to be a part of the territory of Arizona. Anyhow, what else we got going on here? Let's see what else we got here. Let's put this up here. Boom. In the telephone museum. Yeah. And let me tell you something. I've never been disappointed by any museum I've gone to, and I've gone to at least 30. I'll put the count at 30. I'll round it off. Large and small, at least 20 of them been small. The smaller ones are better. But they have this setup, and it shows you when you made a call back in the 80s, when we still had the rotary phones and stuff like that. It has 2 separate phones. And for kids today, this they're completely amazed. And what's crazy about this is, as I was talking to the gentleman, so you pick up the phone and you start dialing. So you dial the 7 digits. And as you dial the first digit, say it's like a 741, as you dial the 7 and the 7, you see the electronics going across the board and showing you how intricate it is for each one of these numbers to get to the location of where you're calling and to ring on the other side. It's genius. We didn't even think about this back in the days when in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s when we had these phones. But the crazy part is, and it sounds ridiculous, but it's not, is when they bring kids in on tours, middle schoolers, high schoolers, and they're like, okay, pick up the phone and dial. The number is right there that they want you to dial so you can start seeing it work, and then you can pick up the other end as it rings. They're stuck at when they pick up the phone. And I told the guy, I was like, what do you mean? They're like, when you tell them to dial, they don't understand what is dial. Some people punch the numbers and the thing, but nobody takes it and rings it back around and then lets it go and it rings it and go back around. They find that extraordinary. And then when they pick it up, he says on the other side, and they can hear the people through this big, handheld phone that we used in the 80s. They find it extremely unbelievable that this is the way that mom and dad used to make, or grandma and grandpa all the way back used to make phone calls. But the telephone museum is good. It is. It's enlightening and it's free. But that back room where that bar is at is absolutely unbelievable. And you got to get out there and check it out. I actually have a picture. Let's see here. I actually have... yeah, Christine. See, I don't know how old everybody is on this except for Joe B, because Joe B threw out his age on here. And I know how old Chad from Kansas is, but the rest of y'all, I have no idea. But let's see here. I went there and took a picture. Yeah, right here. I had to have a picture of myself behind this bar. But that's the bar. That's the original bar from 1861. Same thing I'm leaning on back there. That bottom part, not the mirrors, but those big pillars and that bottom part is part of that bar too. That thing is weighing tons and tons. I don't know how they put it in there. They must have put it in there before they built the front of the building, because in order to get that thing out of there, they'd had to tear the whole front of the building down, bring in some kind of crane and load it up. But that bar, and you can tell also on that bar that bar it was saved by numerous fires. As the one up in Prescott, you hear about them bringing that bar out. That's why it's supposedly the oldest bar up there during fires, and then drinking out on the road and at the bar, and then putting it back in when they built it out of wood again there along Whiskey Row. Well, this bar was saved because at the other end, so if you're looking at this, the one that towards the window down there, they have a hutch that's down there that's blackened. And then the end of that bar is blackened too. You can see where, a lot of smoke damage and probably some fire damage got to that before they got the bar out. But these people that were moving this stuff, I don't know how they did that. How do you move that's one thing, when people say that, if I ever go back up to Prescott, I'm going to ask, how did they do that back then? I know these are rowdy, rough, tough, cowboys back then, and rough and tough women and stuff like that. But nah, how did they move that? That's if what the bar looked like and it's original like that, that thing weighs so much. I don't care how many people are moving it. Sometimes I wonder about these stories. But that bar is has been used since 1861, one of the oldest bars in the West. Let me put up this. There's the new logo. Bang. It's clean. The other one has the Jeep, and if you've ever seen my other logo, I haven't brought it up. I can try to find it, but that's just more clean. They have something on, trying to get it recognized. So went with it easy. So we got shirts like that with tour information on the back of the shirts. We're gonna buy a bunch of those, but I think I'm gonna wrap the Jeep. So I wear the shirts around. If anybody wants one, unfortunately they're not cheap. So you're gonna have to really want one, especially if you don't live around here and on top of the shipping, because I pay at cost for them. I was gonna buy a bulk, 147 of them, and get a deal on them, but I'm like, it would be better to pay that kind of money to wrap the Jeep with the beautiful pictures of me and in the Arizona Timeless Tourist and where to get a hold of me, because I'm always out. It's always in the driveway. I'm always at the store if I'm not on an adventure. So yeah, I got a bunch of shirts, but I just wear them around. But this is the new logo. All right. Let's go back over to the chat. So cool. Yeah, I like that. I like the logo. All right. What else? What else? Let's see if we want to talk about anything else. We've been on here for over an hour. People are getting tired of it. I just showed you. Let's do a premiere. Let me show you what we're going to put out in about 40 minutes from now across TikTok. You guys will see the premiere of the Big Nose Kate 28-second TikTok. When I used to do YouTube, I used to drag out all this stuff. Now all I have to drag out is my phone. Get out there, take a couple clips, and put them together. A friend of ours designed both of my logos. I really like the other logo, the Jeep logo, but it's too intricate. And I use it, and I'm going to have it on the wrap of the Jeep, and it's phenomenal. And I've had shirts of that made, and people love it, and they want them. Actually, if you just stick here for 1 minute, let me show you the logo on the shirt real quick. Don't go away. We got a premiere video coming up. Don't go away. All right. So here is the old logo shirt. And these shirts are awesome. They fit and they last well, but that's that one. I don't know if you can see that well. Let's move this thing over here. Let's put that up into the light. That's the old logo. And then the new one, we put on a little lighter of a green shirt. You know, it's you can just see it better right there. And then in the back, Tours by the Arizona Timeless Tours, DB7010@gmail.com with the TikTok and YouTube logo. So, yeah, I love them. Most people want to buy this one, though, but yeah, I like them. And again, we were going to mass produce them. They were going to give us a great deal. The printing shop that does them instead of doing them online, and they're just cheap. Those shirts, I wanted the best shirt because I buy shirts all the time, especially T-shirts, and I'm always in them. And like those T-shirts right there are, if you buy them in bulk and stuff like that, they come down. But if you buy that particular one, it's already $26.50 for the shirt because it's their highest line shirt. And then you're paying for the printing. That's why I say if you want one, you have to pay for them. That's why until I decide that the shirts will be the right business, I think the wrap on the Jeep's going to get a lot more eyes than even if 147 people bought the 147 shirts that were printed, and it's still going to cost me quite a bit of money. It's going to cost me almost a wrap of a car. Even if you wore them at the same time, you're scattered all across the country. So it's not really like it's going to help me out too much, but I love wearing them. And I've been noticed a lot more. Now, TikTok, I get noticed a lot in the local area here. But when I start wearing those out, people double take. We just had it happen at the food store the other day. It says, she looked at the shirt, she looked back at me. She's like, you're that Arizona Timeless guy. And I'm like, yeah. As I got my bread and my milk in my hand. And she's like, hey, I appreciate your videos. I've been watching you for a couple of years. So because of the shirt, that kind of helped out a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I love the old logo. It does. In black and white. See, the logo is in orange. It's orange because the Jeep used to be orange. And we went to black and white because it was costing me a fortune to all the orange on the ink. It was like $5 or $6 more per shirt, the amount, because the trees were green. The background was in an orange, like a burnt orange, and then the Jeep was in orange. And you had the colors on the trees. Now it's just black and white. It looks great on the green Army shirt again. But and then we have Bobby Simmons rocking in here with that question that brings a tear to my eye. This one brings a tear to my eye. You know, I told my wife when after we got back to Arizona, I was on a roll. The channel was on a roll. The tours were on a roll. But it made more sense for us to sell and to move and to start this thing in Texas. And they happened for 3 months. The house that we were getting, stuff went the opposite direction. Couldn't find anything in Waco to get. So we decided, Bobby Simmons, to turn around in October the 4th, and after just a little over 3 months of being in Waco, and move back to 3 miles from where I used to live here in Arizona. And we're not going anywhere. So we're back in Arizona for good. Hopefully, I can't say for good. I take that back. But we're, for the foreseeable future, we're in Arizona. So I get this all the time, though. And what I think happened is when I say we were on a row, or we were on a good path before I left in July. We left July the 3rd. We had tours booked that I had to cancel. We had the TikTok was on fire. The YouTube, even today we've got 48,000 views on YouTube in the last 28 days. That's because of the TikTok channel. But you know, we were moving and grooving. Things were working. This business was looking good. And then I left for 3 months, and now I'm back, and it's like starting over again. But it's starting to pick back up again. So tours are going good. That's why here comes the commercial. Let's put a little music to the back of it. Here. Let's pull those off. Tomorrow, the coupon day for the Arizona Timeless Tours. My tour normally costs $75 per person for a 90-minute walking tour of historic Florence, Arizona, where it is better than Tombstone, folks. I will ask you at the end of the tour if you don't think it's better than Tombstone. Tomorrow, Thursday, January 27th, 10 a.m. in historic Florence, Arizona. That's where we'll meet at the courthouse, at the McFarland State Courthouse. It's $50 per person, minimum of 2 people. Instead of $75, it's tomorrow only, because there's nothing there tomorrow, and I have nothing coming close to being planned for tomorrow. So I'd rather be out there charging $50 per person for the tour and giving a tour than $75. But after tomorrow, it goes back to $75 per person. I have to have it like that. I have to have a minimum of 2 people. Normally, the minimum is not a big issue. So tomorrow only, $50. Get with me at deanb7010@gmail.com. There it is right there on the bottom. All right, well, that's the end of the commercial. All right. So I am back in Arizona. It doesn't look like I'm moving anywhere anytime soon. We were gone for only 3 months, but I lost a lot of people and a lot of tours in those 3 months. So please get the word out. I've been back since the 4th of October. October, November, December, January. We've been back for over 3 months. All right. But good to see you. Glad you jumped into the stream. Let's see here. Let's go back to the chat. Yeah, that one hurts my feelings every time I see that. Didn't you move to Texas? Because that means that maybe when I left, people are like, he's not going to do anything but on Texas. And I didn't really do anything but Texas TikToks for like 2 months. So I understand it. And they left me. They unsubscribed and they took off, and they're like, there's no reason to watch this guy anymore. And I even took down the I'm leaving Arizona video, because he had a couple thousand views on it in like a couple of months. And I'm like, and I went down there and privatized that so nobody sees that anymore. So please, I am back in the great state of Arizona. I don't know how many times I tell people on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, everywhere. I'm back. All right, let's see if there's anything that I missed before I was going to show you that video. Let me see if I can find it really quick. The Big Nose Kate video that is going to go live on TikTok in about 35 minutes from now. I always have a problem finding this. You wouldn't think I would by now. You think I know my way around this. There it is. Oh, look, I found it quick. All right, here's the premiere. 28 seconds long. See if you can stay on and watch this whole thing all the way through, and then go to TikTok a little later so I can get the views on this thing. But here's the Big Nose Kate. Let's turn down the echo here. All right, I am out here at the Arizona Pioneers Home Cemetery to check out the gravesite of Big Nose Kate. Let's go check it out. That's it. That's the premiere, folks. Yeah. Do you want to know what's funny about that is that's 28 seconds long. When that's done, a huge success in the next 48 hours, just because of the topic, what's going to happen is I'm going to go look at those analytics, and it's 28 seconds, and it's going to tell me, just say like 40,000 people looked at it. It's going to say the average watch time on that 28-second video is 20 seconds. So people left it 8 seconds early. And then it's going to tell me 45% of the 40,000 people actually watched it from start to end. It was just too long for the rest of the people to hold on for. That absolutely amazes me. That's why I try to change the angles and give you a little bit more on the TikTok videos. I make them miniature. I mean, speck of sand YouTube videos now. Instead of just holding the camera and going to the location, change the angles, change what you see. You'll notice that you could read the Mary Cummings, who her name was, up at the top, but at the bottom there's more writing on that second plaque that tells you she was born in like Budapest, Hungary, and all that stuff. And it's quick. And the reason it's quick is that people have to now go back and check that video out again, freeze it there to read the rest of it, because there's games to be played. on all these social media platforms. 28 seconds. 28 seconds. Yeah. You got me the worst margarita at Big Nose Kate's at Keller. Oh, it's at the Big Nose Kate's in Tombstone? Because I've eaten there myself. Not a bad spot, actually. Not a bad spot at all. Okay. Let me go to the graphics and see if there's anything else that I was going to talk about that I didn't talk about. We got the bar down. We got the statues down. We got Big Nose Kate down. We got Maddie Blaylock Herb. We got the new logo. We got the new chip. I think that's it, folks. I think that's it. Let me look here. If you got any questions, just pop on here. Let me go to. I always look at my my TikTok channel. Oh yeah, there is one other thing that it doesn't get a lot of views. When I say that, I'm gonna show you how it works, folks. You put your blood, sweat, and tears. And when I say sweat, I mean when I say tears, you get cut up, scraped up on all kinds of stuff going out and doing this stuff. I got a sponsor, and I get sponsors all the time, whether it be a coffee sponsor, a water bottle sponsor, or a tent sponsor. And this is my the point that this company got with me to do a sponsorship on something that went with my videos, especially hiking and being outdoors in Arizona, is the tent. And so I did a tent video, and I'm going to show you this tent video because I did this commercial myself, and it was launched, and all the videos and stuff out there get 70, 100,000 to 20,000 at the low. This thing's sitting at 1,300 in about 24 hours because TikTok doesn't like when you're going to actually, all the hard work and stuff that you put in, they make you put ad on it, and they just don't push it out to as many people. And I want to show you my first little, see if I can find it here, commercial for this. I don't know if I think I put it into the downloads here, and I think I called it tent. Let's see. And for those who hang on, if you got to go, I understand. Man, where did I put that thing? I called it the tent. I'm rolling through here really quick. Boom, 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 boom. It's not there. Oh, there it is. Right there. This is what I put together. This does help put gas into the gas tank, folks. That's why it's done. This Gear Top 2-person 4-season tent is perfect for camping, hiking, and traveling in the great state of Arizona. Whether you're up in the snow and cold of northern Arizona or down in southern Arizona, this Gear Top tent will keep you dry when it's snowing and raining and warm when it's cold. The tent is made from a high-quality fiber and is extremely lightweight. The tent features 2 waterproof ventilation hoods, dual access doors, and is extremely easy to set up. There it is. There's the commercial for the tent. It was a great tent. I had a great time doing but it's crazy because it's like you try to build up your social media so you can get ads, so you can get paid, so you can go out and do these adventures. Then when you get them and you do them and you produce them, they don't like to put them out to too many people. So it just is crazy to me. So if you get a chance to hit TikTok, it's the latest video before I put Big Nose Kate up there. This is just what I'm saying here is that the Wyatt Earp one, the statue one, is at 139,400. The Maddie Blaylock Earp one is at 79,500. And then the Post and Butte one that I did last week is at 32,900. And the tent one that needs to be pushed to help me to keep moving is at 1,343 views in about 20 hours. It is what it is. But I appreciate those people that get a hold of me, that I can do those. I will keep doing them, and that'll keep putting gas in the Jeep and keep allowing me to do these adventures. But I just want to show you that before I left. I think I'm going to leave out with just showing you the video I always do. I want to thank everybody in the chat. You guys are great to come on. Catherine, you and your sister are phenomenal. And Catherine, Christine Stewart, Bobby Simmons out there, Bar Lee. I think that's our guest from Poland. Let's see here. Who else? I know we had Chad from Kansas on here earlier. We had Tiger on here. And let's see if I can remember what the other one. Chris came on. They got the Doc Holliday statues. Joe B. Good old Joe B was on here earlier. And there's Chad Campbell. And I think I got everybody that streamed on here at one time. Oh, and Jewel, Weekend Road Tripper. Man, if you're still on here, I apologize for not saying hello to you earlier. I saw it's way up at the top. As you said, you can hear me loud and clear. And I missed Jewel, and she is a great supporter of all the social media platforms. So sorry about that. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for all the support. You're the reason I keep it up. And because I did not stop, because I thought I had to the end of the month to not renew the streaming service that I do this on, because we were supposed to end it on the 31st of January of 2022. No more of these for months and months and months and months, because I didn't want to pay for it anymore. It automatically 2 days ago took it out. I thought I had a week, and that's my fault. So now we are going to do lives all the way through February. So hopefully I'll go in there on the 1st of February and cancel the subscription, but we will keep it going through February, which is the shortest month of 2022. So it is what it is. All right, let's bring this up here. Let's bring my thing back up here. Let's go back down here a little bit to kind of end the show. Got to do a better job. I say it to myself all the time. Got to do a better job at finding these videos quicker. Got to do a better job. Where are we at here? Here we are. All right. If people stay on, we'll come back. If not, we'll end it with the video. I appreciate everybody, though. I appreciate you. Hey, sign up for that tour tomorrow morning. Get that coupon discount of $25 off. Come on. All right, let's put this up here. Yeah, this one I like this. My wife doesn't feel it's not a really huge deal because the service really doesn't cost that much. But when you start like getting stuff like this and wrapping Jeeps and getting more shirts and trying to plug money into different areas to be to try to do the right thing with your money when you're trying to start this business that we've been doing been doing this for almost 5 years, but only really the business thing for like 11 months. And again, that short stint in Texas did not help me out. So tell everybody about the tours. Again, hit me up at deanb7010@gmail.com whenever you want to do them. We do these tours. I met the guy up in Prescott, and he's like, well, where else? Because I was telling him about things, and he was like, I've got to get to one of your tours. So that's why we handed him one of those poker chips. And if you want to do the Pioneer Cemetery one up towards Globe, we can do that if there's no Florence tours. And of course, we don't have anything tomorrow. So again, it's $50 per person, 2 people minimum. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. in Florence, Arizona. Get with me, deanb7010@gmail.com. We're going to put the caption up again where you can get a hold of me. And then we'll call at the end of the show because I'm sure my son's out there like, why? He said he wasn't going to be on there that long. My wife's done with the piano lessons. I need to get back downstairs. We need to launch a new TikTok. Please go check out that tent TikTok. That's going to help me out tremendously. Leave a comment. Like, that's a great tent. It is a really good tent, especially for the state of Arizona. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. And I like playing this one. This one's kind of a crazy music, but it's the one I used for the POW escape tunnel. And I just like the song. So we're going to go out with that.